Hello, I'm Mark Miller, and I'm going to show you one of my favorite flavors from Singapore, the famous black pepper crab that we're going to make into a black pepper seafood stew. First thing that I have here is a wonderful shrimp broth with some onions and garlic. I'm going to add some mirin. It's going to give me a little bit of that lightness and tiny bit of that sweetness. The less sodium soy, which is going to give us a nice sort of umami flavor and dark. And the secret of this is basically the oyster sauce. I'm using the Kikkoman oyster sauce here. So we've got 2 levels of umami, a little bit of sweetness, and of course the black pepper, lots of black pepper. I'm going to stir these together. Should have a nice rich broth that has lots of umami, a little bit of pepperiness and some depth. With the garlic and onion. I'm going to add next my vegetables, which we're going to use some sweet red bell pepper, a little bit of yellow bell pepper, okay, for color and to sweeten it up. Then I have here some fresh mussels and some fresh Gulf shrimp, some fresh wild Gulf pink shrimp. Okay. After you put in your seafood, you're going to cover that and let that simmer until the shellfish opens for a few minutes. Here we go, beautiful smell. Here you can see that the mussels have opened, the shells of the shrimp have turned pink. I'm going to taste and adjust. Beautiful. I'm going to put a tiny, tiny bit more of the Kikkoman mirin in, and just a tiny bit of the oyster sauce to make it a little bit richer. I think we're good to go. At this moment, I'm going to add a little bit of the fresh tomato, and the reason I didn't put them in earlier is I don't want them to wilt into the sauce. I want to create a freshness and the acidity, so we'll let that cook for about a minute, and we're done. Okay, put in some of my tomatoes for color, flavor, some of our cooked peppers. This is a sauce, this is a dish you really can be cooked in really literally 5 minutes. You see it all through the streets of Singapore with the big crabs and sometimes with the black pepper beef. Beautiful flavors. Some of the broth. And we're going to add a little finishing touch of some Fresno chili, a little bit of the fresh chili, which gives it sort of a zing. We're going to add some squeeze of fresh lime and fresh cilantro, giving it a green, sort of more freshness. Beautiful pepper aromas. And here we have the Singapore black pepper seafood stew that I've made with the Kikkoman oyster sauce, the mirin, and the less sodium soy. Really wonderful, rich flavors, the pungency of the pepper, the hint of the chilies, and the exuberance of the fresh lime and the fresh cilantro. So we've got depth and green and fresh and chili. Beautiful dish, very simple.